Today we're going to be dropping this fish trap with a camera attached to it, a GoPro attached to it. Now this is the first time I've been doing this, and there's tons of different spots we can go to and actually drop cameras down there and set fish traps and see what is swimming all around it, because I'm sure we could see some insane stuff. And today we're doing it at one of my favorite spots, my favorite fishing spots, and hopefully the water is nice and blue. It's been raining here in Florida. Usually it's really rainy during the summertime, so the water tends to get a little bit brown because they have to open the spillways, and here comes all that fresh lake water. But hopefully it's blue water today or somewhat clear water today, and we can set this fish trap and see what is lurking about. At this specific spot, there's about 3 locations we can do this at. So I'm gonna try the first one today is gonna be right in the middle. There's another one which is underneath the bridge, which would be an insane spot to do this. There's always a bunch of sharks swimming around over there. And then the tip of the inlet all the way by the open ocean. We could do that if you guys do enjoy the video. Now, if you do like what you see in this video, hit the like button and I will make more of these. Now let's jump into it and see what we can find lurking in these waters. It is nice in the morning here today, so the sun isn't, it's pretty high, but the water, it's been going out, so that dirty brown water is coming through the inlet now. So we gotta hurry up and drop this thing quick while the water is still decently clear. And we are just gonna load this thing with shrimp. Load it with shrimp. Now over here, I've seen a bunch of sharks, bunch of nurse sharks and stuff, so you never know what you're gonna see, man. And hopefully this thing can actually last and doesn't float away or turn on its side. So we're gonna try it the way it is now, attached like this to the fish trap, but I'm gonna have to keep the line tight so it doesn't tip over. If it does tip over, then we're just gonna have to attach the GoPro right to the fishing rod and just drop it down like that and then chum it up. So let's set this trap. I'm gonna waste 0 time and just load this thing with an entire bag of shrimp. That's my plan. Just load it with an entire bag of shrimp. Why not? Let's see what really is lurking about, you know? Put the whole bag in there. That's an entire bag of shrimp right there. Look at that. So let's hope that this stays upright. I don't know if it will, but if it doesn't, we're just gonna drop the camera. Let's give it a try. Now this is a 360-degree camera, so we can really see everything. Whoa. Okay, hold on. Let me get her set on the rocks here. She's floating down with a bunch of shrimp. Now there's a super strong current, so she's gonna, you know, sit kind of weird, but we may have to just use the camera. Unless I can keep her upright. Right when you put it in, you can see a ton of fish, an absolute ton. Now keep in mind, this is the 360 GoPro, and I'll explain why I had to use that in a second. But look at the little crab underneath the rock there. Bam, saw Mr. Krabs and a bunch of fish right when we put it in. So I had to use my 360-degree GoPro today instead of the regular one because my regular one broke. That's why it's a little grainy, a little fuzzy, a little distorted because of that 360-degree lens. So next time we come out here and do this, I'm definitely gonna bring the regular GoPro so it's a much more crisp shot. But since we're using this one today, let's just see what we can find. Now, right when I put the GoPro down, I saw an absolute whale swim by. Look at the size of this French angelfish. This thing is 2 dinner plates, dude. He is so freaking big. I took a video on my phone that you'll see right after the first dive here. But we always see this guy cruising along the dredge pipe and eating off the barnacles, or eating the algae off the barnacles on the dredge pipe. So we always see this guy. He's swimming up to the pipe, eating right from there, and he came back around towards the left side, and this thing was absolutely huge. That's a really cool fish. I was super pumped when I threw in the trap and saw that fish swim by first. We also saw a bunch of, you know, these little yellow striped grunts. I think they're yellow striped grunts, just cruising, having a good time, chilling with all the other fish. There's an absolute ton. There's a ton amount of fish here, so I was really pumped to see what we're gonna find. There's a bluehead wrasse right there swimming around. Now these guys are so hard to get to because of these psycho Sergeant Majors. I threw 1 shrimp in there and they went nuts. All right, we did our first drop. You guys saw that giant angelfish right in the beginning. I'm not sure if we did see anything else on the camera. I'm gonna have to go back, voice over the footage to show you guys what is down there. Right when I put it in, that giant angelfish swam by, which was freaking, that thing is huge. He's double the size of my head. Absolute giant. We're gonna move up and down this little concrete thing here. Concrete slab, and we're gonna see what else we can find. Let's do drop number 2. Hopefully, I know there's a nurse shark that is this is his home, so we're gonna try to find him. Now on our second drop, we dropped it in with the fish trap again. On our second drop, we did see some really cool stuff. First of all, I dropped it here where there was just thousands of fish in this one area in between these 2 rocks. An absolute insane amount of these guys swimming around. So this is just like chubs and Sergeant Majors mostly, and just absolutely everywhere. I did see a couple dogface snappers swim around that were really pretty good size. Look at that guy. With the ones with the big bright tails, the really kind of bigger fish, those are the dogface snappers. There was I think there was 2 or 3 of them swimming around these rocks, which could have been legal size to eat. I would have liked to catch one of these guys to eat, but of course the Sergeant Majors and the damsels and everything are guarding the shrimp. But there was just just an incredible amount of fish at this one area, so it would have been cool to catch this guy. I also saw a blue-headed wrasse right there. I thought he was gonna eat my bait, but he ended up turning away at the last second, did not want it. Now, I don't even know what that fish was that just swam by. Do not know. If anyone knows what that is, let me know in the comments. I don't know what the heck that thing is. Redropped again at a different spot, and this is where I saw the biggest fish of the day. You can see that sheep's head in the back, but here comes a great-looking snook. Look at that thing. Thing is absolutely sick. So that right there is a snook. That's our favorite fish to catch. Such good eating. Then not too far after that, you see that sheep's head creeping over that rock, absolutely chilling right there. Those fish are also really good eating and got those weird teeth, you know, the human-like teeth, which is really cool to see. And it's just a cool perspective zooming out of the camera and changing spots. So I'm changing spots here, dropped in it again. This is where there was like thousands of fish. Look how cool this shot is right here. I just think that's so cool with all the fish circling around the top of the camera there. There's actually an insane amount. There's a couple little mangroves swimming around as well. Little Sergeant Major's chilling. But this spot was really cool because there was just a ton of little small dudes swimming around. So there's bigger fish usually at the front of the inlet, and then towards the back, like this area, there's usually really, really small fish. So they get increasingly larger as you go to the front of the inlet. Just absolutely thousands of them swimming around over here. Now, I really do not know how that footage is gonna look, but I had it on the trap for a while. I tried moving around different spots once I saw something cool. I saw a couple snooks swim around. I hope you guys could see that. I did see a couple snook. I saw some cool stuff, but now I'm gonna tie just the GoPro on the rod and just whip it around like a lure and see if we can see if I can capture something cool on that drone, because it's pretty fun doing this, not gonna lie. I'm excited to go back to the computer and see what I can find on the drone or on the GoPro. Speaking of drone, we did go to the beach yesterday. It was a super nice day out. We went to the beach. We tried to film some content, fishing content for you guys, but we were just getting so unlucky. We saw some incredible fish. We saw some big snook, some tarpon. We saw some giant barracudas swimming around, hunting. They were cruising the beach. There was bait absolutely everywhere. One of my favorite shots is when Jack, he hooked a tarpon right in front of the drone. I was flying super low on it just to, you know, show Jack, there's a fish here. Look, there's a fish here. He throws his bait on it and the tarpon eats it. And as soon as he hooked it, he jumped once and threw the hook. But it was super freaking fun doing that. If you guys want to see videos like that, drone fishing along the beach, which is some of my favorite fishing in the world, drop a comment down below. Let me know if I should do it. Now, let's fling this GoPro around, see if we can find anything else cool. Maybe I'll catch some fish when we're done. Now, this is the part where I was casting with just the GoPro, and it was kind of annoying because the GoPro kept spinning, so you kind of see a little bit more distortions than usual. Like this barracuda, I would have gotten it if it was on the fish trap and it was stabilized, but it was kind of spinning, so it's kind of a weird angle. But you can still see that barracuda swimming right there. I tried to cast him, and then look at Fish Guy Chris. He's so happy. I'm stoked right now to show you guys the man we were looking for, the shark that you can barely see in the bottom there. I'm gonna try to put an arrow and you guys can pause, but there's a little nurse shark swimming around all these rocks. That's the guy that I know is always here every time we come to the inlet. We only got that one shot of him, and he peeled over those rocks and disappeared. Then we got some damsels checking out the camera as well. They were sizing this thing up. They were not happy it was in the water. It's pretty funny how they come swimming right up to the camera and checking it out. It's pretty cool. A couple more yellow stripe grunts, and then this tang here, which I usually do not catch. We never catch these guys. They're impossible to catch. They don't eat any shrimp, and their mouths are so small, you gotta use the microscopic hook to get them. It's almost impossible to catch those guys. But we did see some really cool stuff, and another thing that's coming, which is one of the cooler fish of the day, is coming up in a sec. Thousands more of these little baby Sergeant Majors, which are actually everywhere. They have taken over this spot. They've taken it over. And then we have the filefish, the giant filefish right here. This is the blue one, the one that's super weird looking and pretty. He was swimming with his little buddy right there. It's absolutely just vibing out in the inlet, chilling, probably eating anything that's floating by. These guys eat any shrimp you throw in there, they're gonna eat it no matter what. They eat everything, just like the Sergeant Major. As long as you can get past the Sergeant Majors, you can catch all this cool stuff, but that's the hardest part. They're like piranhas. These guys are super cool to catch. And they always look really cool in any pond or anything. This is the small one, just chilling on the rock. And then we went parrot hunting. I went parrot hunting, so I found a bunch of parrotfish swimming around. These guys are cool to catch too, but they are also impossible to catch because of the Sergeant Majors. Absolutely, they ruin everything. Sergeant Majors ruin everything, but these parrotfish are very cool. All right, now that we saw some dope stuff, let's see if we can actually catch something, because right here is where I saw a lot of action, a lot of fish cruising around. If we can catch one of these bigger mangroves or something cool, that would be dope. Let's try. Why don't we try? The fish were definitely scared of the fish trap when I put it in, and way less of them would come around my bait when I threw my bait in. So it's much easier now that I don't have the fish trap or GoPro in the water. Fish are gonna be all over it. This is the problem right here. This is the issue. You can see all that cool stuff on the GoPro, but you just catch Sergeant Majors all day long. Doesn't matter how much cool stuff you see on the GoPro or underwater, you're always gonna catch these guys, because these guys are the ones that are most populated absolutely everywhere, which sucks, because I'd love to catch the cool stuff, the big French angels, the sharks and everything. These guys are always there to steal your bait first. Well, I made it back home, ladies and gentlemen. I made it back home because the water got super brown and it was unfilmable. So that's why I couldn't even fish anymore, because the water got so brown. So I had to stop fishing, couldn't see anything. And anyways, if I don't have the right, I didn't have any weights. So if I didn't have the right weight, all I was gonna do was catch Sergeant Majors, which are the biggest pain in the butt. Freaking hate Sergeant Majors. I mean, they're cool, but they eat everything, and I can't catch those cool fish with the Sergeant Majors there. So it's kind of annoying, but it is what it is, man. So the water got really brown and I had to leave. It hasn't been blue in a long time. So hopefully, you know, we don't get much rain soon and that brown water will flush out and it'll be blue again. Because doing that in really crystal clear blue water would be really, really dope. I probably could have seen like all the way towards like the middle of the inlet, which I could have seen way more bigger fish than today, which would have been a lot better. So I definitely want to do many more spots. I want to do spots where I know there's sharks. I want to do spots where there's giant fish, like the bridge and the end of the inlet. There's probably some big boys over there, which would be really, really cool to do. There's also some piers and stuff that we can hit and make one of these videos, like, I don't know, once a month, where we just hit a spot, drop that camera down and see what we can see. Because if I go to like a pier and I see a hammerhead shark on GoPro and capture it, that would be sick. So hopefully we could do that soon. I had a blast filming this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you guys do like it, drop a like to let me know you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.